All right, we're back. Let's go to North Reach. There we go.
First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw God.
Yep.
I saw it with my own eyes.
I can't do it.
My lord, my lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
A Kashik, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
Why we fight?
We could leave.
Madame, please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days. What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort. But I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
Actually, I just realized, did Jill...
We'll talk
Was
to the
there a sense
survivors.
of... Was there a bit of jealousy from Jill? Did I get a hint of jealousy?
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family.
It's all right. Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
Oh, on the road from Oriflamme. We just passed more when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Can I fast travel there? No.
I assume you have a plan?
It was all they could do to escape. Oh, there we go. All right,
Come on.
Ambrosia, let's go.
Run like the wind.
Da, 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 da. The world is going to end, but I'm on a chocobo. Ah. Yep. Aether.
Clive, look.
I see them. With me! All yours, Thor. Over here! Over here! Get him!
Should I prime?
You don't have to.
Save your strength. I'm hurt, Torgal.
Actually, I'm not hurt, Torgal. I lied. Oh. All right. Ow.
Get him.
Oh. What? I know I pressed R1. What the hell? What? Okay. Thank you. I was wondering when that would happen again. Okay.
Get him.
Oh, I know I pressed it. What the hell, man? What? Oh, I got interrupted. That's why. Shit. What? Thank you.
Get him.
Whoa. Whoa. What?
Let's try.
Shit.
Get him.
Thank you. Damn it. Wrong button.
Help
know I pressed R1!
Too slow.
Thank you. Thank you. The hell?
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Why'd you look at Clive when you said milady?
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Cool. Okay, so here's an issue I have with the 5-year time skip. Everyone's wearing the exact same clothes from 5 years ago. Exact same. If they said that they have, you know, like multiple copies of each, you know, suit, each clothing, then that's fine. That makes sense. But from what it's telling me, they're wearing the exact same ones from 5 years ago. How does it look that pristine? Do they even do laundry? Do they have more than one set of clothing? You know what I mean? I understand that in every single Final Fantasy game, everyone wears the exact same thing they did. But usually in those games, you know, the time span could be like a few days to a few months, maybe up to a year, depending on each game. Like, but here though, 5 years have passed. It's still the same. Isabel's still wearing the same thing. And she runs a brothel.
Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
And apparently she's making money. I assume she will wear other things.
I said before.
Hell, Jill's wearing the exact same uniform for 5 years. All right, I guess you go back here. There's no other green stuff. Okay, hide away. All right, speak with Otto.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering when you turn up. Hellos from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for Mothercrystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, We knew this was gonna happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an Eikon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
That doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map.
Oh my god,
Look
no,
here.
no, no. Oh, okay.
This road,
Fine.
to Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Fine. I thought you were going to give us a history lesson.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Well, I got side missions now. Alright. Oh, a bunch of them, actually. Okay, and I got some hunts, too. What's the newest one? The Pack. Rank C. Okay.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
I got
Come
something
to claim
new?
your just desserts.
935. Oh, great.
Here you are.
Yes, I got ability points now. Houseman up.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
I don't know what that is, but I really want it.
Are we even safe here?
All right, looks like we gotta do side mission and hunts.
Seems the hideaway is lost.
Blasted book.
Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Why do I have to talk to a Harpocrates? Why don't you talk to a Harpocrates and then tell me where to get them? Seriously, all these people have to do is just talk to those people. Oh, Goots, you got a mission?
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Eye for an eye. Alright, that's that. Talk to Karen. You read over here. I got something new? Guardian Scarf. Ah, right. The Guard and League have put aside their differences for the time being, allowing us all to sip our snake spit in relative leisure. For that, I would hazard we have your better half to thank. You put on quite a performance. As for yours, well, from one aspiring thespian to another, might I suggest working on your delivery and your projection and those stiff limbs of yours and your continence and, well, everything else. We wouldn't want to do the name Underhill a disservice now, would we? The Guardians are getting along with the Axis fine enough, working to shore up the rest walls when not clearing out what few threats have remained down in the reeds, though chances are we'd be neck deep in Akashic had you not given the Horde your firm but gentle nudge. I know you're a realm to save and all, but if you're ever in need of a quick reviver, come see us and we'll tap you a cask. You have an uncanny talent of showing up where you're most needed, my lord. Without your steel, I fear the rest would be in the hands of the Akashic, and us but more of their nameless numbers. However, with the Horde now both thinned and fractured, we Guardians can focus our efforts on putting down the smaller packs without the worry of being overwhelmed, while Martha's blood axes can return to defending the Tor. As for young Oscar, you will forgive my sudden request for taking him under your wing. He is a good man, attentive, polite, hardworking, so as you can see, he already has learned everything he can from me. He would do well to continue his squiring under a more worthy shield, and the realm has none more worthy than you. Clive, you have the town's thanks for helping rid us of the thralls, but we are neither of... Wait, what? But we are neither of us so naive to think we have seen the end of their like. Good Philip has taken to seeing that we are prepared should the ghouls come once again calling, but I oft worry the rank of captain has begun to weigh heavily upon his shoulders. Just as I imagined, the same might be said of you and your burdens. But remember, should the weight ever become too much, you needn't stand alone. Our hearts and arms remain ever open, as do the Vale's doors. Master Clive, I apologize for this sudden and untoward gesture. Circumstances have forced me to seek immediate aid, and there is none other to whom I may turn. Your most esteemed Lord Uncle has presented me with a task most vexing, and I fear I am wholly unable to perform to his vaulted expectations, namely due to a marked lack of martial aptitude on my part. To wit, I am but a manservant, not a mercenary. While I maintained a fitness ample to attend to the needs of a manor, to the attending of bandits in back alleys, I am sorely ill-equipped. If it pleases you, my lord, prithee come and see me at Martha's Rest, where I shall proceed to explain my predicament in full. Eh?
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
Smooth like butler? Alright, let me talk with you.
Lady Karen. How's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody potato.
What's a
Just
potato?
Asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are ya? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
Do not tell her.
I didn't exactly hear firsthand.
Good.
All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Still alive, are you?
Eye for an eye. What?
Thought you knew better than to put stock in unfounded gossip. What with all the colourful tales attached to your name?
Okay.
Go on, then.
Oh, might as well buy this one.
You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
I don't know if I need it for
It'd better all be here.
crafting or reinforcement or anything, but might as well.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
I didn't realize I used them.
Finished, are you?
Oh, the other side.
It seems the hideaway is...
Alright, what you got?
Storm coming, Sid. Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always.
On balance. Man, I can't believe all these side quests I have opened up. Wait a second. I'm worried. That's in Martha's Rest. Wait, I can't really fast travel anywhere else? Why? I don't want to go here. Not yet. Why would you lock it?
Lawsman Harpocrates, I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers? How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their Eikons brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
All right.
Is a storm coming soon?
It seems the hideaway has lost its light.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Cool. Alrighty. Oh, there is a mission over there.
Did you see the pair that got pulled into the...
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Almost there. Man, it takes for... Oh, over here.
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way I see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
She...
Well, then your work is already half done.
Oh, man. She said the
Carry on.
accent. Great.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
3 hours later. I can't figure it out! What's over here? Ah.
Must have been magic keeping those scales together. It's the only explanation.
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others?
Inspect? Okay.
This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing.
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
That's not...
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track.
Let's check the arms again!
These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think you'd fit
Oh
on
my
that
god,
little
guys, you...
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. Ah, all finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss
Wait,
Middle's hares.
what is that on the table?
Hairs.
Yeah, hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Middledol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
What is that round thing on the table?
You hear that? It won't be long.
Isn't that the gear, or is that
Until
something
then,
else?
though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look. We never used the cogwheel.
Oh, okay.
You don't
Thank
think
you.
Sid forgot about it, do you? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid?
I was about to say, because I was like, wait, what is that round thing? I'm glad that it wasn't a graphical glitch or anything, that it was intentional. And the kids look at him like he's a dumbass. Wait, there was nothing else over there, right? Nope.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Stop being so ominous.
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Okay, so I gotta give this game credit. Sure, these side quests. You could say it's lame or boring or something like that, but I gotta say, there's something valuable to it by the end. So you get little bits of information about all the people around you, and that's really cool. That's really good. I kind of wish that, I don't know, the side quests are better paced. If, I I don't know, there's something about them that it just seemed a little boring to me or not satisfying. But by the end of it, it is satisfying. But at the same time, I don't know, if you do a replay of this, I don't think you will want to do the side missions again, you know? So that's the thing. It's not really fun, but there is something valuable in it. But again, like I said, if you do a replay, would you do this side quest again? Even though you know the story about and everything, do you feel like it's rewarding to go through all that again? For me, I don't think so. Maybe it's just me. It's like it's a double-edged sword here. Like, I do see the value in it, but maybe for only the first time. All right, so I really can't go anywhere. Let me try one last thing. Let me check up the Allegiant reports or something like that. Maybe I could fast travel because all these opened up after I talked to Otto. And after Josh said that he wants to go over there.
Clive. Quick look.
Oh, I really can't go anywhere. Wow.
Always something in there.
All right, so I'm gonna do something a little different. So I'm gonna edit here. I'm gonna go back to a very, very old save file and try to do the 2 side missions that I did not get to do before the 5-year time skip. So I'm gonna do that, edit them in here, and then we'll continue on with the main story. All right, we time traveled. So we're back to before the 5-year time skip. All right, let's check out these side quests.
You're late. What kept you?
Late for what?
Did they tell you nothing? A wild beast is savaging my boy. Well, don't just stand there gawping. Rescue him.
All right. Where is he?
My. I see they've sent me a branded with a spine for a change. He's over that way, towards the coast. Go, and see that you kill the beast.
Ballpark. Right? There's that. Let me talk to this guy.
For someone whose son's in mortal danger, he didn't seem all that worried.
It's a trap.
Something's not right here. I need to be careful.
Have you seen my Chloe? I let her out of her pen while I did my chores, but she hasn't come back yet. I think she's lost. Please, can you help me look for her?
Okay.
I can't promise I'll find her, but I'll try. Describe her to me.
She's beautiful white hair. She lets me stroke her when I'm sad. She's ever such a good girl. So quiet and kind. And she likes walking in the wheat. I know the fields are big, but she's never got lost before. Oh, she must be starving too. She hasn't eaten anything since yesterday. It is my job to feed her.
In that case, let's not keep her waiting.
Man, that kid sold it. That's a great delivery right there. Wow. I'm not kidding, she is really good. Wow, she sold it. Actually, I just realized, were there any other side quests? No. Okay, so it's only the 2. I just have to make sure.
Expect us to finish the harvest when the ones that...
So yeah, I know that this has nothing to do with my, you know, current save, but I want to see what happens.
You work these fields? I need to ask you something.
A branded. And an outsider at that, judging by the lack of manners. Why should I help you, eh? You tell me that.
Because a girl from the village asked me to find her pet, Chloe. Have you seen her?
Chloe, is it? Oh, little Lisette's plaything. Last I saw, the filthy creature was sniffing about the windmill.
That girl's old enough to know she should tie her pet up when she's finished playing with it.
The windmill.
Off with you now. I won't have idle branded underfoot.
Oh.
Chloe? More brown than white. You're not Chloe, are you, girl? Is that someone napping on the job? I hope they don't mind the interruption.
I think that's a dead body.
The crystal's curse.
Chloe, I was calling you. Didn't you hear me?
What?
Get up now. You've slept long enough. It's time to go home. Chloe? Why did you already turn into a rock? I only made you do a bit of magic.
Oh my god!
You were my favourite. None of the other Chloes had pretty hair.
Oh my god!
It'll be months before Dad gives me another one. I have to wait until they're too tired to work anymore.
Oh my god!
That's all she was to you. A plaything. Do you really not care that she's dead?
She's not dead. She's a rock.
That? The crystal's curse? That's just how she died. And now she's gone forever. Giving another bearer her name won't change that.
No, don't say that.
It's true. And without that brand, she would have been just another girl. Somebody's daughter. Just like you.
But Dad said bearers don't have parents.
They do. Parents that give them away. Families they'll never see again. But you became Chloe's family when you took her in. Remember that. And remember her.
God damn, that was dark. That was the mission I skipped? Oh my god. I feel horrible. This was the mission the side quest I skipped? Damn!
I'm so sorry, Chloe.
Wait. Is there a chance that there's a side quest that continues from this? Because Lisette is this young. 5 years later, she's a little grown up, maybe a teenager. Will we see her again? I wonder if, damn. If it turned out that if I didn't do the side quests, and it, in the future, I can't get, and if there was supposed to be a continuation, and I couldn't do it because I never did it, oh my god. I don't know, I gotta double check the guide for that. Jesus. That is fucked up.
The wolf! It's going to eat me!
Not if I can help it.
Okay.
Stay back. I'll deal with this. That's enough. It's over.
I just kicked the wolf.
No! You weren't supposed to kill Wolfie. You were supposed to die.
What?
Father will have you whipped for this. Bearers aren't supposed to win. They never win.
What is this? Your father said you were being attacked.
You're not supposed to talk. Stop looking at me like that. We were only having fun.
What?
Having fun.
Why are you still speaking? Father will hear of this.
Oh my god!
Wolf's work, no doubt. But it's not the wolf that's to blame. Someone needs to put an end to this before it happens again.
How did I miss... Man. I hate past me. I was overwhelmed with the side quests, you know? I didn't think that I would miss these. Damn.
How dare you frighten my son? You slaughter his poor pet and then have the gall to return, head held high. That wolf was trained. Better trained by far than your worthless kind. You are the entertainment, nothing more. And we are most certainly not entertained.
The ball's
Nor
on
am
you.
I. You'll pay for what you've done.
See, I told you, he talks too much. It's not right. I don't like him, Father.
You're not the branded I bought, are you? How dare you deceive me? Well, the sins of the slave are the sins of the master. Go, summon the unlucky wretch you answer to.
That wretch would be me.
That unlucky wretch would be me. I'm my own master. I'm beholden to no one. And I take orders from no one.
Lies! Do you think I cannot see that brand on your face?
Shut your mouth and listen. Those bearers you killed, they were people. They felt fear and pain, just as you do. And unless you wish to share in their suffering, you would do well to remember we are not your playthings.
Father, he's scaring me.
How dare you threaten us? How dare you?
Can't we just buy another hound? A bigger one, a better one.
Of course, my son. I'll have the villagers fetch us another. With jaws powerful enough to nip this branded's head clean off his shoulders.
Kill him, Clive!
I'm wasting my time. But I can't just leave those bearers lying out there. They deserve a proper burial. That much I can do at least. How many bearers have lost their lives to this nobleman's sport?
More victims of the nobles' games. You must be Clive.
How do you know my name?
The Dame. I'm in her service, like yourself. Never gets any easier, burying the dead.
Is that what you're here to do?
The mistress has me see to it that none are left to the crows. Since you're here, can you give me a hand?
Gladly. Let's put them to rest.
May their burden finally be lifted. I take it you slew the nobleman's pet?
I did. Now I expect they'll find another soon enough. And when it gets here, more bearers will die. How can they think so little of sending us to the slaughter?
Simple. Because you
are not them. Bearers are tools when they're needed, and toys when they're not. And if one breaks, well, you can always buy another. Still, such attitudes don't always go unpunished.
Is this your doing?
Of course not. Wolves kill. It's in their nature. Invite one into your home, he's gonna tear your throat out eventually. Same with bearers. Fed or not, they don't lack for fangs. What will folk do when they bite back, I wonder? The realm's nest two murderous bastards, and I won't mourn the loss. Here. For their help.
You don't have to.
Take it. You never know. Our paths may cross again.
Really?
Till then.
I didn't do this mission, so... Man, I gotta double check the guide then. Alright, that's it for this. Alright, now to go back to the present. Alright, we are back to the present. Now let's continue on with the story. The trio is here. Cloak and dagger.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Yote is a fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Hey, hold on a second. It doesn't show Josh to my side. Wait a second. Hold on. Better angle?
Fetch!
Alright, Josh is right there, so that's good. Alright, one moment. Time. Hey. Alright, all of them following me.
Ready, go?
Wait a second. Oh, now I can fast travel to the other places? Why do you do that to me? Now I have to fight.
Silence! Silence!
Get him!
All right. Yeah, why on earth? There's another, there. Eye for an eye. Okay. You know what? We're doing the side missions. Seriously, if you could have just let me fast travel in the freaking first place, this would have been fine, but no. You just screwed up my timing.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentlemen of the town guard are...
Oh, everyone's with me. Oh, that would probably make the side mission easier.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumors about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
Yeah, it's over there. I have to walk on the other side. Anything else here? Nope. Okay. It's just right across, but I have to go all the way around for this. Oh wait, I passed it.
The gentleman of the town guard.
Mummy.
No.
What a mess.
More beer.
You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Okay.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Ah, new enemy. Alright. Twister time. Oh!
This one. Stay down. Stay down.
Okay.
It's over.
Fatal attraction.
Get him.
That's what I wanted to do. Go.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty painted lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Lord!
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
You're here?
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye.
Oh!
Wise words.
Oh!
And now, it's time to collect.
Wow.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
I have to speak with her at the hideaway instead of here? Oh, God. They really gotta think about... Okay. What's over here again? Arthur's Rest. Where is he? Upstairs? Ah.
My lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mothercrystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
All right. Nothing else here, right? Go here.
I got peppers to numb your tongue.
There were ghosts at the gate.
Wait a second. Oh, I see.
Not days ago.
You needn't fret.
Just go forward? Yeah, just go forward. Because it's so far away, the low frame rate of the creatures over here. Every time he jumps, I keep thinking he's like Mario.
This might take a while.
I don't want to fight.
Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot.
Oh.
This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. Over here! Over here! Over here!
Damn it! Ah, crap.
Over here! To me, boy!
There we go. There we go.
Get him!
Nice.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent.
Oh, right there.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
Yeah, I haven't been in this location. I wonder. Anything special here? Ah. Oh, shit.
Nice try. Kill! Too slow. Go!
Finally. Demon Tamer's Sash. Huh. Okay, looks like we have to go back. Goes over here. So it's down there.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy,
The gentleman of the town guard.
All right, let's
Ready,
do it.
go? Fly, Ambrosia. Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
And maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
Alrighty. Oh. I always love launching them like that. Cool.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Alright, go back to Northreach. Probably I should have done the Dalimil at the time because I was just at Northreach. Please don't tell me it's around the same area. Oh, thank God it was freaking close.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Anywhere, but we somehow know he's right there. You're injured?
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
Ready?
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Ah, damn it. I thought I got him. Now I got him. Ah, I thought I pressed R1.
Get him. This one. Farewell.
Farewell. Perfect.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bistolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one.
Alright, going back. I know I interrupted him, but I just want this done. Okay, we're going there to talk to him, and then we're going to, the hideaway to talk to the others. Should be fine, and maybe we get a bonus. Maybe.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Cool. 35. Alright, go back to the hideaway. Another quest? Oh, come on.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking, but I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable, and I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
All right, that's complete. Cool. I have so many hides. Do I really need all those?
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today will cost you the same as it did yesterday.
No, you... Come on, give me a 50% off the elixirs. 10,000 guilds of robbery. What? Oh. Okay. Alright, that's that with the side missions for now.